I died for you.
You lied to me.
Yes, I cried. Yes, I cried.
Return after me. Return after me.
Come on.
Return after me.
Oh my God.
You know that I've been
Here I am.
Baby.
Welcome back, everybody, with another episode on the 44 Pod with your host, Mr. Hollywood himself. I'm my co-host, Mr. Herney, a.k.a. Stays Herney 24/7. Hey, man, he trimmed with the beard, trimmed with the stash.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna hold you. I don't know how I feel about it. I fuck with the beard. I love the beard, but it's cool, man. It's cool. You know, it's hot over there in Delroy.
It's not even that. Wasn't even that. It had nothing to do with the heat. It's just I got a wedding to go to in October, and I was like, well, I don't know what I want to do for that. So my thinking was like, because as you guys can see, a little two-tone action going on. So I figured this is the best time to kind of, so this is the best time to kind of like get some color on there. So if I do decide to do this, it's not going to look like it is right now. So
first of all, whose wedding are we going to?
Oh, it's my aunt's wedding.
Oh, okay. I definitely think you should keep the beard, but like a low beard trimmed.
Yeah, for sure. Not my my patented caveman look for sure. Like definitely ain't gonna do that out there, but yeah, for sure. I understand. I get it. But man, glad to be back. It was a long week and a half off. Obviously, hey, you know, like I always tell you guys, man, like this guy, it's not up to him. Right? He's got a lot of people that are relying on him, so he can't drop everything and do a pod, and it's all good. It was kind of like one of those things too. Like I didn't really. I mean, 4th of July was like on a weekend too, so it was kind of like iffy, like to kind of try to squeeze that in. Shout out Joey Chestnut for doing what he does, but yeah, I'm just excited to get back. I think it should be a good one.
Yeah, man, it definitely was. Past week it was definitely pretty good. Well, much needed vacation time, I would say. I was even home for a couple days. I went out, came back, and then I went back. When I went to work, I was in the field and stuff like that. Nothing too crazy. But yeah, man, definitely ready to get back at it. I did want to show off this painting that I got when I went to this place down up north where I went like about 2 weeks ago for my summer.
A little art gallery?
Yeah, I went to a little art gallery. Fun fact about that, me and her, when we did the Brandon Aiyuk take, I was recording off my phone, obviously, right, because I didn't have any of my stuff. I was underprepared because the pod was kind of unexpected, but it was very much needed to be said. So I didn't bring any of my stuff. So Hearn was having technical issues as far as connection. I had the best fucking best scenery that I could record. I was in front of the beach, the sun was hitting the light, it was spectacular. Everything was perfect for me, but for Hearn it was bad, and I didn't know how long Hearn was going to be out. Had the wife with me in the car, so it was the first time listening to the pod like from the POV. And so I was like, all right, cool. And then Hearn was having those technical issues, so I was like, all right, you know what, we'll record later today when I get back to our Airbnb or our hotel, sorry. And so I thought I exited off the app that we use to fucking clear it, which I did, but I guess it just froze on my phone for some reason. I don't know. So technically, I was still in the live stream. It wasn't a live stream, but I was in the chat recording. And Hearn came back, and I didn't know. So the whole entire time, like me and my wife having a normal conversation, we went out and about our wits. And did our thing, you know, visiting these art galleries and eating some food and whatnot. And Hearn the whole entire time was like listening to it, which is super funny. Like it's not. Some people be like, "Oh, he's eavesdropping" or whatever. Me personally, don't see it that way. I think it was super funny because if it was him and I was like, and it's not like he didn't tell me that he was listening because he was texting, but I wasn't really on my phone. I had it like in my pouch, like my fanny pack. And so he was telling me like, oh, this, like saying things what I was saying in real time. Mind you, I wasn't smart enough to put two things together to be like, like how does he know that? And then it wasn't until like I got back to the hotel and I'm like, oh shit, this shit's been recorded. And I was like, he's like, yeah, dumbass. But I'm like, damn,
Yeah.
that was kind of funny, honestly. So
Yeah, I'll be
it's
honest.
just
Like for like people, like Rigo is right. Like from a moral perspective, like it could be viewed as like that's morally wrong, right? But there was nothing like crazy being talked about, and like I'll be honest with you guys, like me and Rigo used to hang out every day, so like I'm not gonna lie, like it was kind of nice, like getting back to it. Like it was like I was third wheeling really. So, but yeah, that was really funny too. Like Rigo's talking about a boat, and he was like, "Oh, he's like, I'd name it, whatever the name was. I don't remember off the top of my head,
yeah.
but and I like literally was texting him about it. I was, that's a like weak ass name or whatever I said,
Yeah, he
and
did.
then
He did.
yeah, so but yeah, so I know we got to get to it. Rigo,
Yeah. But before we get to, I just wanted I like the whole point of that like little spiel of a conversation was to show you what thing I got. I didn't get it from that gallery. I got it
oh
from
yeah, I
something
forgot.
else, but it was just leading that way. But I got this painting.
Oh, that's tight.
It's it's called Owl in the Pussy Willows by Eric Benke. Check that out,
I
boys
like
and
it.
girls.
Yeah,
So
that's a
now
nice looking owl.
I
That's actually a pretty good looking owl. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah, I really got it because obviously Drake is one of my favorite artists. So
Yeah,
I stay the six God ready, buddy.
loyal.
So
Yeah, I feel it.
yeah.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's actually really cool.
Oh, okay. So the artist. Sorry, I'm really going off topic here, guys. But this artist that did this painting, his name's Eric David Benke. I'm maybe butchering that last name. He's an adult artist and a Special Olympic athlete from Alaska.
That's
That's all
dope.
I'm gonna say. But yeah, my bad. Getting sidetracked. Go ahead. Let's
No,
get
that's
on with
cool.
it, Hearn. Hit me
No,
with
that's
it, big dog.
awesome. Shout out to the Special Olympics in Alaska. Shout out to you guys, man. Um, obviously, the fucking Mac is back, baby. UFC. What is it? Three something? 329. Yeah, 329.
Uh,
UFC 329, baby. The Mac is back. Holloway McGregor 2 with the co-main
yeah.
event of Pimblett and Saint Denis. Rigo. How are we feeling about it? I already probably know who you're going for in this card, but I got to hear it from you. Your reaction to McGregor actually coming back. He weighed in. He's ready to go. He's at 170 and a half. Holloway's at 170. How are we feeling?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Uh, Obviously, as a fan perspective, this is gonna be super great. Super excited. Damn, what the hell? Super excited to see him come back and compete after 5 long anticipated years. I didn't think he was ever going to come back to the arena. Um, but yeah, man, honestly, I think this is really fucking awesome. Really, really, really excited. If I had to pick somebody to actually win this fight and like no bias, no just like strictly like what I think who's actually going to win, I think Max Holloway is going to end up coming away with it. Just based off the fact that he's been fighting, like he hasn't taken any breaks. You know, he's
Yeah,
been fighting the best, and Connor's on an uphill battle. Like, I mean, it's kind of make or break for him. I think if he loses his fight, I think he's definitely not coming back. I think he's going to be gone for good after this one. But if he does win, I see him chasing those belts and not stopping until he loses. Um, but I hope he wins, to be honest with you, because I mean UFC was kind of boring, and I think we kind of talked about it like a few pods ago. It's like the UFC hasn't been the same, where it hasn't had its like superstar, where it's like it's holding down the UFC. Like we've have, and what I mean by that is like they have stars, but they're not superstars. Like where
yeah,
Conor McGregor, like dude was selling out arenas. You know what I'm saying? The other guys like they definitely like do their part, but like he wasn't as big as Connor. Like, dude fought fucking Floyd. You know what I mean? Like, those are
yeah.
superstars. But yeah. But besides him, I mean, there's a couple people on that card where I'm super excited to see. But yeah, what are your thoughts about the main card?
Yeah, I think obviously, and we'll talk about the rest of the fights on the card, but obviously, I think the main event is kind of the one that's bringing everybody to the show, whether you're a huge hardcore UFC MMA guy or girl, or if you're a casual that's there because your significant other or your friend or whoever wants to watch it. Um, yeah, I think for the sport itself, I think obviously when you get the Mac, life's good. I think as he always says, right? Like it's payday. You're calling
Get
the
the
wife, you're
red
telling her to get
panties.
the red panties on, right?
The
And I
red panties, baby.
this couldn't be any truer. I think Dana White said at the press conference on what's that, Friday, I think on Wednesday, Dana was saying that basically, or yesterday, it might have been yesterday, he was basically insinuating that this is like the biggest gate they've ever done, ever. And that kind of is McGregor. I'd say due to McGregor, right? So I think obviously from that perspective, and like you said, a fan perspective, it's great. The Max back.
Yeah,
I think from an actual MMA wise, like in the octagon, I'm not too sure what to expect. I don't know if McGregor's going to be. I don't. I think it's pretty obvious he's not going to be the same McGregor we saw when he was at like his
his
top,
prime.
top, top. Yeah.
Yeah,
So I think I'm really curious to see what this new version of McGregor is going to be because he's never fought at this weight. He's obviously a lot heavier than he was the last time we saw him. I think the last time he fought, he was at 145 or
yeah.
155, something like that. So that's almost
I'm
20
glad you brought
pounds
that up.
ago.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
glad you brought that up.
so I think that'll be really interesting, and like I think for Holloway it's going to be interesting as well because this is the most obviously it's probably the heaviest he's ever fought at. So I'm curious to see if he has any speed left. Obviously, we know he's got knockout power, but I think that's going to be something that people aren't really thinking about until the fight happens. Um, but yeah, super excited. I'm gonna go with the Mac. I think just for the fuck's sake, I'm gonna go with the Mac winning, and hopefully I really don't want him to get thrown into a title fight right away. I'd like him to face somebody else. Doesn't have to
Yeah,
be like someone like it doesn't have to be a true number one contender or anything like that. But I'd like to just see him fight again, somebody else, doesn't matter who, and then give him the title fight if he wins that fight. But yeah, I mean, I hope the Mac's back for a while. Not for a while, but at least a couple of fights. I think that'd be pretty cool. Win, lose, draw. I think just having him back in the sport uh, should be good for everybody. But yeah, we'll see. Like Rigo mentioned, we got some other fights. I think the one that Rigo probably really wants to talk about is Olympic gold medalist, I believe,
yep,
Gable
yep.
Stevenson. I think from most betting perspectives, he's like the heaviest favorite the UFC's ever had since I would say since sports gambling's been accessible for all 50 states. I don't know like the history of that, but every time when I made a parlay, uh, I think a week and a half ago, and like I was gonna throw him on there because it felt like he's got so much momentum. Well, not momentum, but he's got so much hype. Like kind of a foolish thing not to put him on the parlay. And then I
Yeah.
saw he was like a minus 1,600 favorite, which means
Shit
that
balls.
if I want to make $100 on that bet, I have to bet $1,600 to make $100. So that tells you the kind of favor he is in his fight. So yeah, Rigo, I mean, what do you think about this? Obviously, this isn't his first MMA fight. He's had a couple already.
Yeah,
But this is a pretty big jump from what he was doing. I mean, he was really just at an entry level. Um, obviously it was still professional, but it was like an entry level fight. Now you're going on to the UFC, not only the UFC, but you're going on the McGregor card, and I'm pretty sure he's on the prelim, so pretty high up on the card itself. So what are your thoughts on this fight, or just on him in general?
yeah. I didn't find out to him. I didn't find out about him until like a couple of weeks ago, and I was kind of just looking at his story and stuff and like who he was, and I'm like, dude, this guy, fucking beast. He reminds me of like low key like a Brock Lesnar, but a Kurt Angle at the same time. 'Cause, I mean, these are both gold Olympians, and the fact that he won one, dude's a fucking beast. And I'm super excited to see him fight. It's crazy. I didn't know the stat that he was a heavy favorite. What was it? What was his? You said it was a plus 1,600.
Minus 16. So yeah, it's like
Shit. Yeah.
that was when I looked when I built that parlay. I don't know what his odds are now, but every time I see it's like he's like it's crazy. I've never seen any like to me fighting is one of those ones like there should never be like when you like football for example, if the Raiders are playing the Bills, like the Bills should be really heavy favorites to the point where it's like, oh, it's a shoe in, like it's a shoe in, right? Like they're just a better team overall. Fighting, I always feel like it should never be like that. Like anyone could go down at any time. Like it's a true any given Sunday kind of thing. So, but yeah, I think like I said, when last time I checked, it was like minus 1,600. And that was like a week and a half ago, and I really looked. So, um, I'd have to look real quick to
Damn.
see what the odds are now. But
Yeah. So that's one of the fights that I'm super excited to see. But besides him, I mean, like you said, those are the prelim fights. Uh, we have a couple dudes, like Kai Kamaka, whatever his fucking name is. I really butcher these names, guys. I ain't even gonna hold you. That's another fighter that I'm super excited to see. I don't know the odds of the fight, but I really hope he wins. I like the kid. I think he's a baller. Um, he's going against an undefeated guy like Luke Riley. Luke Riley, I'm not sure. I don't really know too much about him, but he hasn't lost yet. So it's gonna be a hell of a fight. Cody fucking Garbrandt. How do you say his name?
Garbrandt.
Garbrandt. Garbrandt. Dude,
Garbrandt.
I haven't seen this guy fight in like what, like fucking as much as Conor McGregor's been gone. I did.
Yeah.
That guy's. Have you guys seen his fucking hairline? This guy's been through it, dude. This guy at one point was like pretty up there as a fighter.
Yeah,
Now
he was
it's
he was
kind
a
of fucking
champ
washed.
he was a champ. Yeah, he was a champ at one point. So
Guy's kind of butt cheeks now. And then another fight for the main card, obviously, is fucking besides like the main card, Connor and Max. It's Patty and fucking being at Saints Denise, whatever the fuck his name is.
Benoit Saint Denis. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go, dude. See, Hearn should just be pronouncing these names, man. You should not let me do it. I think it should be a bit in itself. Me pronouncing fucking names.
I think when you do it, it's kind of charming. Like it's kind of our thing, you know. So I like it. I like that dynamic.
Yeah,
I think that's
I
going
got
to be a
Patty
great
winning
fight.
the fight. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think Patty's you know, I believe every fighter not deserves, but needs to lose one, or however much, even though how far you're gone. You do like I think a lot of fighters lose, and then either it makes or breaks them. For a lot of great fighters, it makes them better. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
for a lot of sorry ass fighters like Connor, sometimes kind of fucks you up and you go on a losing streak.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I fuck with Connor. Uh, so that's gonna be a great fight, like you said. Mario Batista, that's gonna be another good fight. Um, and the other two, besides that, like the flyweight, Brandon Royval and Lenore Kavanka Chiki Chiki.
Yeah.
I don't know that one. I don't know who that dude is. King Green and Terrence McKinney. Um, Green, dude, if you guys watch his fucking his YouTube shorts of him like shopping, dude's fucking hilarious. Y'all like that dude's a comedian. Low key reminds me of like Adrian Broner. Um, that's gonna be a funny fight.
Yeah.
Yeah. But besides those fights, dude, honestly, I'm not really too interested. I mean, besides the early prelims, Tracy Cortez is on the really early prelims. She's fighting for my time, 1 o'clock. It's kind of crazy because, she has a lot of hype behind her as far as like social media wise. But
Yeah.
besides that, as a fighter, like,
She's ass.
yeah, I hope she gets knocked the fuck out. I
She's
ain't
not
even
that
gonna hold
great.
you.
Yeah, she is not that great. I think a lot of people and I think a lot of people it's more of a look thing. Like I mean, let's just call it what it is. I think for a lot of guys, like that's how they base like a lot of these women fighters. Unfortunately, is just like how they look, um, and that's obviously where the hype comes from. But yeah, I think the main card. I think this is probably like if we're like the White House card. I think for most people they'd say like, oh, it's one of the best cards of the year. I think this card could have been on like if you flipped them. I think this would have been a really good White House card as well. Um, but yeah, I think like with Patty Pimblett, I think. Man, this is like real. I think this is kind of like he has to, if he really wants to be a true title contender, like people to take him seriously, he has to come out. I almost think he has to dominate. Like he doesn't have to he doesn't have to get a finish or anything, but I think it needs to be like, oh, he dominated the whole fight, like, and leave
Yeah.
no doubt, because I think his last loss was against Gaethje, and obviously Gaethje's the champ, so I think it was for the interim belt if I'm not mistaken. So that kind of tells you like he had a chance at it already in a way, and you got to handle business if you want to be considered for another title fight down the line. I think, like you said, Bobby Green. I like Bobby Green, but I'm a huge McKinney guy, so I hope McKinney wins. I think he's been I think he's been undervalued. I think he's been deserving of being on a main card for the longest time, and he's really been relegated to a lot of prelims or like the UFC fight nights, which used to be just kind of like on TV. And even on those, like he wasn't the main event. He was like the co-main or like below. So
Yeah.
I think he's overdue. Like, I really like him as a fighter. Um, it's one of those. These are one of those matches where like kind of sucks because like I like both fighters, so I guess from fan perspective, it's a win either way. But I just would hate for either of the guys to lose, really. But I think that'll be a good fight. Sandhagen's on the card as well. That's gonna be a good fight. Just overall, like Rigo said, I think this card's really good. But yeah, I mean, I think for the most part, like I said, I think everyone's here for one reason only, and that's the fucking Mac. So
Red panties, baby.
the red panties are gonna be fucking flying out.
Yeah. Super
I
excited for
guess
that.
Rigo, we think we got a little bit of time here.
Yeah.
Obviously I think we've exhausted the Brandon Aiyuk situation, so this won't take very long. But obviously, he went out, he opened his mouth to who would have been eventually his quarterback, Jayden Daniels, like made comments about Jayden Daniels and his mom. And for those of you that don't know, like, it's kind of like a running joke because Jayden Daniels, like, basically did everything through his mom, from college to even his first couple years in the league. So that was like a really big deal. Not a big deal, but it was just kind of like a running joke basically now. Like, people are just like always associating the two. And I thought
It's
it
like
was
an
really
MJ
funny
shit.
because Brandon Ayuk like called him out basically and like basically said like, oh, like go ask your mom for permission, like, you know, some bullshit joke like that. And then
Yeah.
and then I saw like a day later, he's like, Jane Daniels ain't answering my calls. Like, what's going on, dog? Like, we need to talk offline, this and that. And I'm like, bro, like, why is this guy gonna talk to you? You just called him out about him and his mom, bro. Like, you think he's gonna do you a favor now? Like, so I just think it's funny. Like, it's clearly like a mental.
Okay. All right. All right.
Good.
So I've been going back and forth about like that whole situation in itself, right? Like not
Yeah.
even just speaking about like everything he's done and everything he's said so far, right? But just him talking shit or calling out Jaden Daniels. But before I really get into that, shout out to Jaden Daniels even having that relationship with his mom for her to do all that. It's like a Jordan shit. You know, she looked out for him and look at him as super successful. So that's really awesome. But to get to the point, I for some reason a lot of me really is betting on the fact that Brandon Ayuk and Jaden Daniels are in cahoots to make it seem paint a certain narrative. But at the same time, I'm like, damn, like even if they were to do that, it doesn't help the situation for him to go to Washington at all. Like, because now, right, if they are in cahoots, right, and they're like, "Hey, man, let's just do this so we could take some heat off of you and make it seem like you don't want to come to the Commanders, right? But like, eventually you will become a Commander." I think the last thing you want to do is talk shit about the quarterback, right? But if you were gonna talk shit about somebody, it would be him because when he does eventually, and I still believe that he will be a Commander at some point, you can't do it about another teammate because you're not best friends with him. So when you get on the team, that dude's gonna be like, yo, like you was talking shit, bro, like let's run it, you know what I'm saying? However they're gonna handle it, right? But at the same time, I'm like, now you got everybody and the fan base being like, yo, why the fuck you talking shit about my quarterback? Like, you know what I'm saying? Making him be paint the picture as him as an evil person or like an asshole and being like, why the fuck would we even want Brandon Ayuk to come part of this team? He's just a big distraction at this point, right? But again, and it goes back to the same point where it's like, okay, if you are going to talk shit about somebody, it would be your best friend who happens to be the quarterback. So when you do become a free agent at some point, y'all were gonna make it up with no problems, and him being like, hey, you know what? He was going through something. It was a misunderstanding. This guy's my best friend. I have his back, and all we're gonna do is put numbers up on the field because he can sell that to the GM and the head coach and be like, hey, like this guy is gonna help us win. That's why I feel like it's a whole big cahoots thing rather than it being a whole randomized thing. But the fact that he took it to the point where he was like talking shit about him and his mom and stuff, that's the only portion of it where I'm like, I don't know anymore. So it's a toss up of like trolling and not trolling. You know what I
I
mean?
like that idea that they're in cahoots. I do have to say, like, I don't know how this helps him get off the Niners though. Like, I think that's the big
Yes.
hurdle. Like, none of this is gonna help him get off the Niners. So to me, like, anything said, obviously personal relationship wise between him and Jaden, that's a whole other issue. But I think in general, like, nothing he says as of now is gonna help him get off the Niners. So, um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I just wanted to run that by you. Obviously, you guys know, like, Rigo really loves us, like, really loves Brandon Aiyuk. So, like, it's really important. Like, we kind of, like, I think we were first to
Fucking
jump on this
true.
thing and start the timeline from the beginning. So, I think it's only right that, like, we stick to it until we get to the end, which I think the ending of the whole storyline would have to be just him getting released, correct?
Yeah, because at this point he's just talking to talk to get some views
Yeah,
and do whatever he needs to.
100%. That's
Um,
also what I was thinking too. Like, when you're talking about cahoots, like, is this a cahoots thing? Like, for him to kind of start, like, streaming?
Yo, low key, he might become a streamer
That's what
on some
I
AB
just,
shit.
yeah, like, he might, yeah, that's going to be something to keep an eye on. And then one last thing before we wrap this up. And like I said, guys, like, this is going to be kind of a shorter one, but we'll do one like Sunday or Monday to react, obviously, to the UFC card and kind of like give us a lot of time to kind of talk about that. But the last thing is, obviously, in the couple weeks since we last recorded a true episode, we talked about Jaylen Brown, and at the time he hadn't been traded yet. He was rumored to be traded in the Giannis trade. Well, he did get traded. He was traded to the 76ers, and what a lot of people are saying is like a lopsided deal. It was for Paul George, 2 first-round picks and 2 second-round picks. And since then, he's kind of been shading the Celtics about kind of a whole bunch of stuff, which I think is kind of weird. Because it's like one of those things. Like, to me, it's like I guess I can understand voicing like your displeasures with them about how everything went, but I don't get
Yeah.
like what's the benefit of it besides like just saying it just to say it. Like, he's not going to get more money. He's not going to get more playing time. He's not going to score more points for bringing all this stuff up. Like, I don't really get it, but I guess I've never been to that level in terms of being an athlete or in terms of a profession. So maybe there's a little bit more to it than I even know. But, um,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, what are your thoughts? Obviously, I can't imagine it's going to be a whole lot. I mean, you kind of really voiced it when we talked about it originally about like, a team not wanting you, like when they ship you, when they are thinking about trading you, and then like that trade doesn't happen. Um, I guess
Yeah.
it's basically like he got what he wanted, right? Like, he obviously didn't want to stay there after he was rumored to be traded.
Yeah. I just think like again, obviously, like you kind of hit it. Like we both haven't played on that level where we're getting paid millions of dollars and stuff like that. So our perspective obviously is going to be a little more different. So we're kind of the guys looking on the outside in instead of the inside looking out. But like, I think it comes back to as this type of person and type of athlete you want to be and be looked at as. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of people who be like, hey, once you hear that stuff, it kind of gets you fired up, and and, and they either you hear that sort of thing and you're like, all right, cool, you don't want me, send me somewhere where it's going to benefit me, or at least let me try to negotiate where I might want to go in some sort of like I would try to get involved in some sort of capacity, but at the end of the day, like it's not what's going to be best for me. It's really going to be best whatever is for that organization and where they're going to send me, right? So if you trade me, cool. I want to go somewhere where I want to be. And if I don't end up getting there, whatever, cool. I'm still getting paid millions of dollars. And I'm going to train my ass off even harder to prove to you, like, yo, y'all missed out. You know what I mean? Because at that point, what is the point of backtracking and being like, hey, saying certain things about the organization or the team or whatever? Like you said, it doesn't help. It doesn't change anything. Like, you're gone now. So it is what it is, you know. At the end
Yeah,
of the day, my health is good. I got millions in the bank. Red panty night every Sunday, every
yep,
Monday, every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You know what I'm
yep,
saying? Like we good to
yeah.
go.
I just like I said, it's just one of those things. Like, And I get it from his perspective. Like, at one point, he was the guy. Like, and I mean, he wasn't really truly ever going to be the guy because they already had a guy. It just so happened that guy was hurt. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of
Yeah.
like those. It's almost like the Tom Brady, Drew Bledsoe situation. Like, Bledsoe goes down after a hit. He's hurt. Brady comes in. He looks good. And, like, it would have been as if, and then the Patriots ship off Brady, though, instead of shipping off Bledsoe. You know what I mean? So I just think it's one of those things. Like, the team felt one type of way about the players, and obviously they feel like the other guy is someone that can carry them to another championship and not Jaylen Brown. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think that's about it for time. As always, I always appreciate you guys. And then just a heads up, just in case you didn't know, we are on Apple Podcasts now. It should be under the 44 podcast. If not, just look on Instagram or TikTok or anything like that. I'll usually try to post a link to it just so you guys have access to it. But for those of you that,
Yeah.
you like to listen to us on the way to work or when you're taking a shit or whatever, and you just want audio only, that's the way to go. You just go on Apple Podcasts, like I said, the 44 pod or the 44 podcast, and there should be a nice little logo on there. You just click on that bad boy. And then, yeah, subscribe. And like I said, it'll just be audio only, but for the time being, but eventually we'll get to the point where we're able to put videos on there as well. But yeah, just appreciate you guys, and yeah,
Hell
Rigo,
yeah.
send them out.
All right, yeah. Like Hearn said, man, he's pretty much on it today, man. He's saying everything I need to say, so I'm not gonna say any more than that. Hey, man, we appreciate you guys, and I'm your host, Mr. Hollywood himself. Shout out to Perfong. Shirt's dropping soon,
Let's
and shout
go.
out to my co-host, Mr. Hernia, aka Stays Herny, and that is us signing off, baby. Peace.